or on Twitter and let us know your opinion. Now, Johnny, you
Yo.
specifically implied you have some venom to spew. I want to hear your thoughts on Mr. Shifty.
Mr. Shifty. Oh man, you know what? I'm not even gonna pull up any imagery.
Hater. Okay.
Not even gonna pull
Our
it
Twitch
up.
audience will go lacking.
So Mr. Shifty is a if anyone has ever played Hotline Miami, then they definitely know what Mr. Shifty is going to be like, but not as many people played it. So it's essentially a top-down perspective game that is an action, high action, very fast-paced action, where your gimmick is that you have the abilities of Nightcrawler. So you're able to teleport a certain number of times. You have a limit to how often you can teleport, but it does recharge. So and it recharges pretty quickly too. So you are teleporting
If
a
it's
lot.
like Nightcrawler, does those have that smell?
And does it say BAMF?
Yes.
There is no BAMF. It just poop of smoke, and then you teleport forward about 8 to 10 feet.
I can get down with that.
And you can teleport through walls, and you can teleport behind a guard and punch him in the head. And also your punches they have like a little pseudo teleport effect to them, and part of that means your punches can like break down walls.
All right. Dude, I'm not hearing bad things.
What's the bad part?
Yeah.
So this is one of those games that is good on paper, except when you play it, it is a matter of they had this good idea. This is definitely a good idea, right? All of you agree. It sounds good.
Yeah, dude.
But
I'm tumescent as you talk here. So go ahead.
In execution, it ends up being monotonous, especially with the level design, where the whole game takes place in this one building. So you're seeing just desks, chairs, computer monitors, crappy carpeting, and glass windows everywhere.
And
that's all you
can't
see.
fault it for being involved in corporate America. That's just
yeah. So you're going through like cubicles and everything like that.
How long is the game?
How long is the game?
Yeah.
The game's not that long. You could beat it in definitely under 10 hours. But this is also it's an indie. It's a cheaper type of game, so you shouldn't expect like this big open world major thing. And it is more arcadey with its action. So.
All right. Platform. I think we've got to say that.
Yeah. So the platform is the Switch and Steam and Xbox, and I think it's on everything pretty much.
Okay. How much they charge for it? Is this a full indie release, so we're expecting prices upwards?
Is this early access? It sounds early accessy to me.
Yeah.
Like, well, what we got right here is our beta version we're releasing to the public.
And can this hold our interest longer or less long than the aimbot?
Okay. So Mr. Shifty is it's a $15 game, which is probably $10 more than what it should be. And going back to like the problems of the game is that it doesn't take the mechanic and do everything possible that the mechanic can do. And the things that it does do, it definitely changes up the formula, but it takes forever for it to change up the formula. It's you're going through like an entire level, and the only thing new within that level is this one new mechanic. But the level itself is split up with multiple rooms, multiple sections. You're doing a lot of repeating because it's one hit kill. So you take any hit from anything, you're dead. You have to restart the level from scratch.
Right, well, so one level of monotony. It sounds like they would probably do better if this was a roguelike game. Or something where at least it offers you a curveball every time you fall into one of those situations to make it a little more interesting. You're telling us it's literally you go through these bland levels doing the exact same. Wow.
Yeah. That is you could die at any time.
At any time.
Okay, that's frustrating.
And I mean, most of the time it's because of you when you die, but there are some times there's clunkiness to it. There is sort of your punches will sort of auto target an enemy. So there are some times where you want to punch when the enemies are pretty close together. You want to punch one particular enemy and not the other one. Well, it punches the one they didn't want, and then you get shot with a shotgun or something.
Like Hydra Bob's like, I surrender. Good, take that.
And it is a very bland game. That is the embodiment of Mr. Shifty. It is just a bland, generic game with a really good mechanic of this whole teleportation thing.
But that's the only mechanic it sounds like it has. And it doesn't do... Are there upgrades to it? Do you get to teleport? So you're stuck with the same powers.
What kind of stuff changes?
The things that change is
The
you'll
color
get
of the
like
desk chairs.
they'll like introduce new elements like
They put a
they'll
new cover on the TPS reports.
yeah like the villain of the game, which is a terrible villain. He's constantly antagonizing you, but you'll go through one level where he introduces this, I don't know what to call it, but like a shutdown mechanic where you go into a room and you'll know when you're in that room you can't use your teleport mechanics. You have to kind of survive and beat up enemies without being able to teleport around, so it limits your abilities.
So what you're saying is the way they mix up the game is they take the one mechanic that is interesting and take it away from you.
Yeah. It's not that bad when they do that because it isn't all the time. It isn't always active, and then there's ways to restore, and there's a little bit of a puzzly element to it. There are other mechanics, and it's really just like items that you can pick up and grab and then throw at enemies. There's like these proxy mines that you can pick up, and it'll blow up within 5 seconds no matter what. So you have to find a target to throw it on. It'll stick to them, and then they'll blow up. That's okay, kind of cool, but like once again, like it's the same like 5 or 6 different enemy types that you're going throughout the entire game. It's the same scenery that you see all over the place. The villain is just awful.
So the sense I'm getting is the level design is banal, the gameplay is lacking. Is there any saving grace to this?
Yes, you don't have to play it.
Wow.
Can I just ask a quick one? What's a similar game at a similar price point that you would recommend instead?
Oh yeah, Hotline Miami.
Hotline Miami, done.
Hotline Miami.
Gonna go
Play
get
that. That game is amazing. It actually has a style of its own. I mean, Mr. Shifty has a style, but Hotline Miami is oozing with style. Fantastic soundtrack. It's more polished. It's funner to play. There's an actual like interesting story in there.
All right, you sure you wouldn't also recommend, from the description I got from you, I would say Party Hard 2.
I was going to Party Hard.
Yeah, I'm saying
This
right
is
a game
made
where you go.
by the same people.
This is made.
Probably not the same team, but it is from Tiny Build.
Okay, Tiny Build makes this game I love, where you pretty much play a sociopath who's just like killing people for the most petty of petty reasons. And Johnny notoriously hates this game, so I'm just trolling.
It's another one of those. Sounds good on paper. In execution, not
don't
fun as hell
Party
game.
Hard. It's so much fun.
It really is. Thank you. See, justification.
Party Hard is garbage.
Party Hard's
So,
awesome.
does that
Garbage.
mean you're gonna
You know what?
pick up
I'll
a
say-
copy of Mr. Shifty and judge it for us?
No, I just want to make jokes about how they should have changed one letter in the title.
Here's
Nicely
another
done.
saving grace.
Nicely done.
Mr. Shifty is better than Party Hard.
Oh, stop it.
Oh, get out of here.
All right, so
Oh.
okay, so I take it Mr. Shifty does not receive your seal of approval.
No,
But
it
you are
receives
saying
my
Dale should
bowel movement of approval.
So should I eat the
disapproval.
50 and then I'll eat the
Okay,
50 and you all can come over and play it and that'll be that.
Oh, great.
I'll wait for a Steam sale and get it for $5.
I feel like
You're
him paying
wasting your
15
money
bucks
and your
for me to
time.
play it for 20 minutes sounds great.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Despite